Hey guys, welcome back. It is officially spring here in 6B Northern Kentucky and things are really taking off. I wanted to show you before we get too busy planting for the season because it's looking like it is getting really close. Yahoo! To show you what the tulips did and how all that's looking. We've got some plans to get some more things in the ground. I'm still starting a bunch of seeds. It's time for the warm weather things like zinnias and all that is coming along. So before I tear everything up, I need to show you what happened with the 1,000 tulips that we planted. And I was both happy and underwhelmed at the same time. I think the next batch for next year, I'll be more purposeful in the varieties that I get versus a mixed bag, which was nice, but it really wasn't usable. We did do a lot of bouquets, but you'll see they're just, it's a lot of red. So let me show you what they look like. So here they are. They've turned out really pretty, but they were short. They're getting taller now, but when they first started blooming, they were literally only a few inches tall, and I did not know what in the world I was going to do with them. So we just pulled them and put them in little tiny mason jars and had some fun. But you'll see, like, they're really starting to turn. So I need to get them out. And so, like this one here, I don't want to have bulbs in the ground all year because tulip fire, all the other diseases, I need to get these out. So I'll pull it, see if it comes up. With the bulb and everything attached, and then this will go into the compost bin. Or the back of the bed for now. But I need to do that with all of these and get them composted so that I can turn these beds into what I have plans for, like the statice and zinnias and all that. But I did play around a little bit with ranunculus. So I do have some that are budding up and will actually have some blooms. So we'll see what those do. That'll be a fun new one for me. See all the tulip carnage behind from when we were making bouquets. I've got all kinds of, what are these, snapdragons and more ranunculus, so we'll see how those turn out. Just kind of playing around for now. All of the pansies here, and even, say hi to the doggos, all the pansies over here in these beds were all fall planted from last year, so they came back really nicely, and I think I'll be doing another fall planting this year, since it was no sweat off my back for the springtime. So that was a nice surprise. Got more tulips over here under John's tree, so that'll be coming out, and we'll do something like a hosta or whatever we decide there, and then the other bed with some tulips. So that's all of them out in the back area. We'll get all of those taken out, and then all the warm weather stuff will go in. We got tulips over here. These were all actually here. The first year we moved in, we planted these, and I thought I'd killed them all, but they just kept coming back. So these ones are all yellow. So we have yellow and red. And then over here, so let's see what's happening in this bed. This is still pretty much largely unplanted. I've got one ranunculus that came up, and then I've got a bunch of first year flowering foxglove that I want to get in the ground today, since it looks like the threat of frost is pretty much over. This I had hooped over early with some frost cloth to get things started, and all I have in here is just some lettuce to try, and then I've got a bunch of stalks. I've got about triple this amount to get out here. I think this is 50 something plants. It's supposed to be a spring flowering crop. I've never grown it, so we'll see what they do. And it's supposed to smell really good, like a clove smell for the flower. So this whole bed will be stalks and then converted over into celosia. John's garden bed, he gets one bed, and he's got all kinds of stuff in here so far. Lemon balms, parsley. His asparagus is ginormous. This is the second year for the asparagus, so not really supposed to harvest much off of it. So next year we'll take a couple, I think. And then some lettuce going there. So everything looks so bland right now, but it's going to be full of green. This whole bed, I moved all of the daylilies over, and this is all going to be dahlias. I did grow quite a few from seed, and they're all popping up. I'll show you in the greenhouse in a bit. And then some volunteer gladiolas, I'm pretty sure they are, and then some hosta. But remember machete time, we have all of our banana trees are coming up, so they actually have leaves growing up. This is entirely too early for it to be happening, but spring is here much earlier than normal. What is today? April 12th. So it's in full growing mode right now. Got a ton of daffodils that are still coming on. They're starting to get to the end of their life. Planted all those last fall. Quite a few yarrow. It's hard to see in here, but I planted another 40 of a pearl double white. See if we can find a little baby. So right in there is one. They're still pretty small, but they'll all join their friends soon. I also have foxglove back here. Those are the 4 larger plants that are the true biennial. So they did not flower last year, so they should be flowering this year. That's why I went ahead and got the first year flowering mix that I want to get in the ground over here today, and we'll see how those perform as well. And then back here, if you remember way back when we did our winter seed sowing, I did something called Baptisia. Well, that is starting to come up here. You can barely see it, just starting to green up. So I'm excited to see how many of those actually pop up. I've marked 3, found another one today, and we'll see what else comes up. And then I did go ahead and I sowed late in February a bunch of this Bupleurum, which is going to be, it's considered a flower, but most people use it as a foliage plant for when we're doing bouquets. So excited to see how that does this year. There's going to be a lot of first year experiments going on on the house. Then sedum row, got all the sedum came up really nice. I went ahead and got another variety. This one is variegated. I don't know if the flower is going to be a different color or not, but figured it'd be fun to try and propagate that a little bit and spread it out along this entire bed. So we have some variety. And then this bed, all the hyacinths, they're done. It's time. I think I'm going to pull these up and store them for next year because I don't think I'll put them back in this bed. But in the bed for this year, we got quite a bit started in the old greenhouse. So I've got 200 some Rudbeckia Indian Summer. So those will be going all over the place. Eucalyptus that I started from seed this year is going well. And then some of the cannas, these are a salmon color that I started this year. Kind of out of boredom because it was like beginning of February when I started them out. This is one of the eucalyptus that I saved from last year, and the rest of them are all back here. So I'll get those out in the landscape soon once I know it's going to be above 50. We're still a little bit lower than that. These are just some older Rudbeckias that I had, same Indian Summer. I've got the dahlias here. These are all seed pom-pom variety dahlias, so those will be going out in that large space hopefully very soon after the threat of any kind of chili. And then we have, straw flower. So this is just leftover seeds that I threw in here to see how they're doing. Then we just got a bunch of random fun stuff. My gardenia, these cannas in here. When I pulled all the cannas out last year, I kept 2 of the rhizomes and planted them immediately. And they're doing really well. This one's, they're so slow in the winter to grow, but this one's about to put on a flower. This entire variety, the only ones I have other than the salmon are the Picasso. And down here, I started all these rhizomes on February 22nd. So these are all the same variety. Some of them have more variegation than others. I don't know why I started them, but they're there for wherever. I'll probably give them away to people. And then I've got elephant ears, and you can see there's nothing. We started these earlier even than we did last year, thinking we'd get a head start, but they're still showing no growth. So we'll see. We'll just give them a little bit of time. They should perk up. But yeah, that is where we are as far as the garden beds go. It's really close, like I said, to getting time to putting all the seedlings out on the ground. I'll give you a grow room tour here in just a moment too, so you can see what's going in there, and then what we're going to be planting. Okay, so we're now down in the basement dungeon grow room, and I'll just show you a couple things that we have going on here. I've got a bunch of Lysianthus. These things are so tiny. They're very slow growing, and I started those, the beginning of February 5th. So that's how big they are at this point. I don't know if I will make it or not, but we'll try it out. I've got some more Celosia. I've got Gomphrena, like 5 different varieties of Gomphrena, little babies. More Gomphrena. I've got 3 varieties of basil that I'm trying out. Some ageratum. More Gomphrena. And then these ones are really weird looking, but these are the status. And I'm super excited because you can use them as cut flowers for drying as well. Just a bunch of feverfew that's starting to come up. Some more straw flower to go in. More Gomphrena and Celosia. And then John's got some crazy peppers, and I don't even know what all this is. Tomatoes, peppers. other things. So these are all really ready to go into the ground. Once we get above the frost, you'll see I'm using the soil blocks, which make life so much easier. And they do the air pruning for me, so I don't have to worry about potting them up as often. And then my crazy, messy seed starting extravaganza. So I've still got, this is what I need to sow, so quite a bit. This is sowing today, and some of this is direct seeding. Yeah, I found a pink dandelion. Even though you don't want dandelions, most people, I guess they're edible, I wanted a pink one. So I have a problem with seeds. Anywho, so that's it. I cannot believe it is already springtime. Very excited to get all of this stuff into the ground. Looks like the low we're going to have is 38 in the next few days, so going to hold off on most of the stuff, but any of the cold, hardy, like even straw flower can go into the ground. But this is going to be a very, very busy 2 weeks, and I cannot wait. It's a fun kind of busy work that you get to do. Getting everything prepped for the summertime. So thanks for tuning in. Stick around, and we'll keep you updated with anything else going on, which is going to be something every week, I can imagine. Anywho, happy gardening. Thanks.